Hello everyone, my name is Jili. This is my group member Qianya and William. Today we are going to talk about Museum of Brisbane. First, let's welcome Qianya give us her part.
Museum of Brisbane is located in the city CBD, in the Brisbane City Hill, positioned at the Qianya Square, having opened in the year 2003. It has managed to handle more than 3 million visitors. The museum is also run and operated by the City Council of Brisbane. It also shows that there is an ideal security, making the visitors to feel at home and go away with any worries when sampling collections and images in the museum. The Museum of Brisbane has impressive images and collections. There are more than 5,000 items in the museum, from different artists' impressions ranging from local artists as well as historical ceramics. The museum is also described as an ideal oasis in the city. A comprehensive analysis also shows that the images in the museum collection portfolio include art, fashion portfolios, and the living history of Brisbane. There are sporadic images, depiction nature also appearing on the wall, meaning that the museum is industrial in terms of its collections. A clear sign that it is still expanding to diversity its art with time.
Now we are going to talking about the problem of sight of the Museum of Brisbane. As we all know, the Museum of Brisbane is different to any other museum such as Queensland Museum because it does not have the fossil biology samples or any other scientific things. It only shows the public the living and war history of Brisbane. General speaking, there are two problems on the side of Museum of Brisbane. Firstly, because of the Museum of Brisbane located in the center of Brisbane CBD, in the museum we can see the area of structure is only around 1,000 square meters. And shapes as an irregular circle. If the visitors does not pay attention on every exhibit, it will only take them about 10 to 15 minutes to finish all their tours. The second thing is the advertisement of Museum of Brisbane is not good enough. In the Brisbane city, there are just a little mark or signs that point to the way of Museum of Brisbane. Therefore, if the Museum of Brisbane enhance the propaganda work, it will attract more visitors. However, there are still a lot of advantages of Museum of Brisbane. For example, Museum of Brisbane located in the center of Brisbane, CBD. It means that the media of communication are very comprehensive and convenient. Let's see, visitors can take any ground transportation as they want.
Also, they got a very well maintained on-site management of tourists. In the museum, they got heaps of signs, maps on the wall to guide visitors to walk around the museum. And you can see here, they can tell the visitor where they are and which section they are now. And there's some signs that's telling people not to bring maybe like a selfie stick and something like that to keep the museum environment tidy, quiet and safe. Also, they had using a quick control to prevent overcrowded in the museum. For example, when we going to the museum, we can saw there's some signs that if you want to join the tour, just click in here, and every 50 minutes they had a tour guide to take visitor to visit the clock tower and maybe also the museum tour once a day, mostly around 1:30, begins in 1:30. But there's some disadvantage, some negative stuff that they should provide some multi-language signs in the museum and maybe provide a multi-language tour guide to inside the museum, which may increase and help more the cultural interactions, and also foreign visitor may easily understand about inside the exhibitions inside and know more about the history of Brisbane. And if they got many more multi-language tour guide and multi-language signs, they maybe attract more foreign visitors to visit the Brisbane Museum. And the third one is the management through informations. Brisbane Museum had provide some guidebooks inside, as you can see that's in front of the reception desk, for visitors to take it and see what kind of new exhibitions inside the museum and what they can expect inside the museum. Also, the museum had provide some video display, audio tape and computer for visitors to have a look and listen about some of the exhibitions inside. For example, like they have a video that's talking about the river crossing in the Brisbane River. There's a very long history in there, so if they got some kind of facility in there, they may attract more children or other foreign visitors to listen and attract them to want to know more about the history of Brisbane. And however, the museum should provide, like last when I mentioned, that multi-language guidebooks for foreign visitors to help them to easily to understand about the history of Brisbane. And also the firm reception, which helps and guide visitors if they had any questions during the tour.
Hi, let's turn to the suggestion and improvement side. In order to achieve the success of the exhibition display, the management is very important thing for any museum to think about. Therefore, as for the Museum of Brisbane, there's still some space for the improve on the management and exhibition side. On the exhibition side, due to the size of Museum of Brisbane are not very big, thus the exhibition display should be designed very carefully. Under this situation, how to guide visitors look around their exhibition step by step and a crowd with the timeline should be the problem for museum to consider about. It's me. On the management side, there are only one administration work in the museum as this lady. It might not enough for the visitors because most of visitors are old ladies and gentlemen, teenagers and foreign tourists. The museum need to pay more attention on all these kind of people. For example, as for the foreign tourists and old people, more administrator can help them to explain the meaning of books, pictures and other exhibits.
It is possible to simulate many visitors to attend the museum by extending the parking lot. It will ensure many visitors have a space to park in their cars or hire taxis, making the museum even livelier. The end result will be extension of its number of visitors, improving popularity and positioning it on a global map, unlike a situation where it is only popular in Brisbane. Expansion of the parking can also be accompanied with removal of the parking charges and the Qianya Square car park. The City Hall of Brisbane can easily take care of that. It will aid in making the museum appealing to many visitors.
So in conclusion, Museum of Brisbane is a very attractive place for visitors who came to Brisbane to know more about and learn more about the history of Brisbane. And just like my friend G here, he takes a lot of selfies during the visit, and we are very enjoyable the visits of the Museum of Brisbane. Right, so thanks for watching. Thanks.
Thank you.